Yo, rest in peace, Takeoff. Rest in peace. Let's watch this.
Okay, so we all know what happened with Takeoff, and very easy to just say, rest in peace, condolences to his family. I hope
Hmm.
Quavo's doing well. To be a first-hand witness to something like that has to be traumatizing and tragic and
Yeah.
life-altering. I can't imagine how Offset feels. I can't imagine how their family feels. I can't imagine. I guess one of the reasons why something like this happening never really seemed like a possibility is because of how huge the Migos were. I remember Ice Cube mentioning not too long ago when he was in an interview that you only have about 3 years of being that guy in rap, and I just wanted to highlight how Migos have taken
Really?
over for an entire like time period. They've had way more than a 3 year run. They've had way more than that. You know,
This might be debatable, but I don't think so. Like, when was the last hit that all three of them had? You know, they kind of broke up in a way. So I don't know. Like after Bad and Bougie, okay. Had Walking Like I Talk It, okay. In the Kitchen French Twisting Like a Stir Fry, okay. But then, like, what did they drop in 2019, 2020, and 2021? I might just be asleep. I know they dropped an album. I think, hold on, let me look it up. Let me look it up. Migos album. Yep, they dropped the album last year. That didn't really blow up that much. And that's mainly because Kanye and Drake dropped that year too. So I feel like, oh yeah, J. Cole dropped. Yeah, I feel like they kind of got swept under the rug. Um, yeah, I feel like they had like a 2 year period of like clout. 2020, they was dead, but that's 2020 though. That's different. I don't know. To me, they had like 3 years tops. 3 years
hot
tops.
song, and then they kind of
No
fell
more
from
than
grace a
that.
little bit. I mean, these dudes have been hot for almost a decade straight. So to lose one of the members to something so pointless, I think is what has really challenged how I feel about this. Because despite me always disagreeing with these tragedies and these events, I can still sometimes, rationalize either a motive or some sensibility behind it. But this is literally just a case of Takeoff being an innocent bystander. Obviously, with the result of his untimely passing, we have a lot of different conversations that are going on. For some reason, whenever it comes to a black artist in hip hop or in rap
Yeah.
music who dies like very young, the immediate response is to find something or someone to pin responsibility on. And for some reason, for the general public, it seems that
And I heard that it was
responsibility
an
always seems to
accident.
fall on black people, like everyday regular black folks, the ones who aren't committing crimes,
Was it
ones
an
who are regular
accident?
working class citizens. It is an overwhelming majority, the ones who don't participate in that type of behavior. For some reason, the responsibility of those individuals who do participate in it falls onto the overwhelming majority of those who don't. So regardless, I have to see everywhere how black people as a whole need to do better. How rappers are negatively influencing young black men as if there isn't already a huge gun epidemic in our country regardless. Only in
Right.
hip hop and only in rap does it seem that you can be doing something as innocent as buying cookies like Young Dolph, doing something as innocent as going to a Waffle House with your girlfriend, like in PNB Rock's case, or doing
Uh-huh.
something as innocent as being a bystander, maybe wrong place, wrong time, and still be
Get
blamed for
blamed.
your own
Yup.
death. Still get thrown into this category. Now, I have no problem.
Let's keep it simple. It's just pure racism. I've seen some look, I'm about to show you a TikTok I saw. Hold on, I'm about to show you a TikTok I saw earlier today. Uh TikTok. Pause. No, I didn't mean to do that. Crap. Crap, shut up. Excuse me. Look, I'm about to show you a TikTok I made. I mean, not I made. Where was it? Where was it? Where was it? Where was it? Uh, there was a TikTok on this situation. Yep, right here.
We
Look.
find it funny how every time we come on social media and we tell y'all that black people need to fix their mental issues, that black people need to handle their emotions better, that black people need to learn that violence is not the answer, y'all want to come and call us a coon, y'all want to come and attack us, but another black person.
She's very loud, but she's about to be so wrong and get proven wrong too. And it sucks because I saw her comment section, but like they was all with her. You know what I mean? Like there's always gonna be those people, but it's kind of like it sucks, and it's not her fault, but like it also kind of is. She really about to be schooled by like this kid who I think is as old as me or is a little bit younger than me. That's hilarious. Watch.
Person was killed, and guess who he was killed by?
I'm sorry, but with all due respect, it's videos like this one which are the exact reason why we call y'all coons. Let's take it point by point.
We find it funny how every time we come on social media and we tell y'all that black people need to fix their mental issues, that black people need to handle their emotions better, that black people need to learn that violence is not the answer, y'all want to come and call us a coon.
We find it funny that for people who seem to say that the system's not racist, it's not the white man, it's you, pick yourself up by your bootstraps, you guys are super eager to rope in the actions of an individual with the entire group when talking about black people. You don't analyze the systems that lead to individual choices, the environment, socioeconomic status, or
And like, I'm not just following off of what this dude said. I literally like I was responding to a couple comments on YouTube as well, and I had the exact same opinion. Yeah. So I was kind of like happy that somebody that I already followed, you know, also had that opinion, and a couple others.
circumstances that lead to those choices. You don't analyze the system socioeconomic.
Like, they really trying to blame just black people, and some of them. There was a comment that said, "I blame gangster rap," and I'm like, really? Like, first of all, that's already racist. Like, off the bat, that's already racist. Like, you don't blame any other genre of music for violence when there's violence and a person dies. You only blame rap. Yes, their deaths are more public, and it's more like like gun related violence, but people still die in the business, whether they be taking their own lives or, a fan taking their lives. That always happens, and that's always a something to worry about. Didn't Ariana Grande at her concert, like, there was like a shooting or something, or a bomb? I forgot what it was, but it was one of them. But you're not gonna blame Ariana Grande and the freaking Italian community for that. Also, like, you guys have to realize that this stuff with these gangsters, put it in quotes, these gangsters, like, they had these problems far before they started rapping. Rap isn't the catalyst. If you know what I'm saying? Like, there's other means to why they're doing what they're doing, and it's not rap. Some white suburban kid isn't gonna be converted to, going to the streets of Detroit on 154th Street. Don't know if that's a real street. Don't kill me. 154th Street, and start killing people because they heard, freaking Big Sean rap or Eminem rap. Like, that's so stupid. Isn't that stupid? That doesn't happen because the people in those communities are already in those communities. They're already making I can't talk. They're already making those decisions. Them rapping about it is literally just an outlet. So blaming it solely on rap and gangster rap and shooting up the club and blah blah blah, that stuff has been happening and is already happening. Rap is just them explaining it, explaining it, and getting some stuff off their chest. They already had these beefs before rap. They already had it. Why are we trying to blame rap? The only thing rap has done is made it more widespread and made it what's the word? 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 Tell me what the word is. I can't even think of it. Hold on.
Economic status or circumstances that lead to demographic changes. You don't even decry the actions of the individual. You say black people, despite the fact that crime within your race is not exclusively a black thing. I know it can be easy to jump to that because of the prominent deaths that we see, which is why hip-hop artists or a predominantly black genre tend to get killed by other black people, because black people, for various historical reasons, tend to live around other black people.
Right.
black people, you say black mental health, you say black families, not realizing that all three of those things are extremely susceptible to your environment. So at a certain point, you're just blaming black people.
When is black people going to address what is going on in our community?
When are any black conservatives?
And the worst part about this is that I'm going to rewind it. And the worst part about this is that like white people and other people, they're looking at this and they're like they feel validated in their opinions. They're like, "Oh, the black girl, the black woman, she said it, so clearly I can say it and I'm right because she's black and you know how can I be racist? How can I be wrong? I can't possibly be wrong."
Point, you're just blaming black people.
When is black people going to address what is going on in our community?
When are any black conservatives or conscious free thinkers going to actually provide a damn solution to anything that we see in the black community? Under capitalism, it's physically impossible for everyone to just start a business. And if you don't have boots, you cannot fucking bootstrap your way to the top. There's no way you're going to force rappers to stop talking about the topics they talk about. None of y'all are going to boycott rap for a significant amount of time. And if we all turned off rap tomorrow, what the fuck would happen? These rappers with these very real...
That part. If we all turned off rap didn't exist. These situations still do. Rap is not the reason for it. That's like saying video games is the reason for violence and school shootings. No, it is not. There's a bunch of other reasons. And like trying to blame a genre of art is literally not going to help the situation in any way whatsoever. It's just going to make it worse.
The fuck would happen? These rappers with these very real experiences that you can't just magically snap away just because you have money would no longer be able to make that music for any sort of profit, thus taking the few people that have the slimmest chance of at least doing something about their circumstances and confining them to the same shit they were doing before. They just won't be able to rap about it now. So did you really fix the problem? I would argue absolutely not. And until we can get serious about policy that can help change the environment instead of saying black people did this, we are never going to solve shit. And that seems to be all that you guys are coming with.
Whenever a black man does something that another black man does not agree to, y'all kill each other. Y'all think it's okay.
I am not some perfectly rational being who is never capable of showing emotion. I have been hit hard by this also, but if we're going to talk about solutions, this shit is not it. Whenever a black man does something a black man disagrees with, they kill each other. Who the fuck does that sound like? Even if we ignore the hyperbole for a second, this message still solves nothing.
Nobody in the black community is saying anything, but y'all have the balls to attack Kanye over what he's saying when he's telling us that we are more than what y'all believe.
Oh no.
I mean, that's already a red flag. I love Kanye. Like, I will show... Let me show you something real quick. I think I'm playing with you. Look. I love Kanye, bro. I freaking love Kanye. That's 130 songs, purely just Kanye. And features from Kanye. Like, you can't... Oh, you can't see it. Hold on. My bad. You can't see it. You see it now? Crap. Hold on. Y'all, I'm new to this. Shut up. Why are you laughing? Right here. My bad. Look. You see it now, right? Yes, okay. See, look. Look at all these songs. Look at that. I'm a fan of Kanye. You can't say I'm not a fan of Kanye. And being a fan doesn't mean you have to defend every one of his decisions simply because, you like his music. 130, let me see, 130 songs flat. That's how many songs of Kanye I have in my liked songs. Like, bro, I adore this man's music. That doesn't make him not responsible for the things that he's saying. And that doesn't make him right either. And that doesn't mean you should try to defend him simply because you like him. Like, maybe try to understand his point, but even then, don't try to defend him outright. You know what I mean? This man doesn't know you. Y'all need to realize that. Jesus Christ. Yes, he made graduation.
Ain't it funny how when black people on the left try to identify where these problems come from and how to go about solving it, you guys boil it down to victim mentality. And then y'all proceed to buy into the anti-Semitic bullshit that Kanye West says when he says that Jewish people aren't really Jewish people. We are, and they're conspiring against.
And we're not going to talk about how basically all of his like sponsors and stuff and advertisements, they all dropped him after he talked about the Jewish thing. But he's been talking bad about the black community for like about a decade now, nearly. Been saying some real out of left field things for way too long, and nobody dropped him then. But he says a couple comments on Jewish people, and we ain't gonna talk about it. But I'm just you know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying. You know what
us
I'm
to steal our
saying.
culture. Or, ladies and gentlemen, the literal definition of victim mentality.
These white people are looking at us right now and say, oh, another one's gone, another one's taken down by their own people. Every time a rapper is killed, guess who is by? Us.
And again with this shit, because in one breath you say the same racist bullshit that the white people that you decry say, and then in the next breath devoid the numbers of context in order to paint black people as more violent, the same shit that they do. So we call y'all coons because oftentimes
You need to realize that most of these rappers are black, yes, but also most of these rappers aren't. They just rap on the side. They rap for money. Like they were on the streets doing stuff in the hood where most black people and minorities stay at. So obviously they're gonna have problems with people from said communities, especially if it was their own. Like, do y'all not understand what I'm saying right now? Like clearly Bob from accounting in Georgia, he's not gonna have a problem because he's in his lane. These rappers come from places where people that typically look like them have also a problem with them for, undisclosed reasons.
the Venn diagram between people who agree with Kanye West and racist white people who think that black people all they do is kill and steal is often just a damn circle. I am sick and tired of seeing this shit. But just as a short note, the reason why people like Kanye West and other people are able to get away with anti-blackness but not anti-Semitism is because when shit like this, oftentimes people like you spend all the time decrying the black community and making them seem more violent instead of acknowledging where these problems genuinely come from, which leads to nothing more than people assuming that black people are nothing but violent thugs. And the more y'all continue to emulate the racist white people you decry by using the death of black people in order to justify your asshat backwards uninformed takes, the more I'll continue to make goofies out of you people. Good night, rest in peace, Takeoff.
We find it funny how
Sheesh. All right, let's go back to the video. That was a tirade, wasn't it? Jesus.
Holding people accountable or addressing people on an individual scale, because that is who has to make the decision to choose to either engage and or walk away. But people pretending as if there aren't societal factors that make people predisposed to either A or B decision, and they came to this conclusion solely off of the basis of a rap song they heard when they were 13 to 14 years old, is just stupid. There are 200 plus mass shootings before a year is even out. Only in America, in this country, can there be a mass shooting hysteria, an epidemic, so to speak, where tens of thousands of people are injured due to gun violence on a regular basis, and hip-hop still be the main blame when a young black rapper dies. I know the narrative is to try to make people believe that what's influencing young people to walk around with a gun on their hip every single day
Don't take
is a
my
rap song.
guns.
But I don't know, maybe knowing that your average everyday citizen is probably a carrier of a firearm to some degree might make you a little shaky, so maybe you'll start carrying one too. You don't know how many people I know that are gun owners that have never claimed gangster, that have never tried to live that life, that have never tried to be hard, try to flex or be materialistic. You know how many young black people have decided to start carrying as a response to the world they live in rather than the rap music that they're hearing? It's a lot. So the last thing I think Takeoff deserves is some couple thread tweet talking about, well, if he never put that energy into his music, maybe it wouldn't have come back at him, or some idiotic 10-minute video of some guy thinking that because a rapper has talked about his lived experience and then put them into a song, that that's somehow justification for his death, pretending as if he was the driver to an issue that's existed before he made the fucking rap song. I don't think people understand that when these issues exist before the rappers have made the music. Where the fuck do you think the content comes from? Lived experiences, not from rap music. Have you ever thought that maybe if you change the circumstances, the music will reflect that as well? How if you invested into these communities, if you took care of these communities, if you gave these people more.
And that's not saying that the only thing rap has to offer is violence and hookers and strippers and OnlyFans models, and like there's more to rap. There's rap for everybody. That's why I love hip hop and rap so much, because I feel like it's the most versatile thing to, talk about. Not to talk about, but to, partake in. You can do anything with rap. I believe that.
Opportunity.
Talk about anything. You can change your style. You can put country on it. You can literally do anything with rap. It's the most versatile genre. It has to be. It has to be.
That the music would reflect that change as well over time, or did you just think that they wanted to make music like that just because it was fun? But what's the incentive, I ask myself? Because kids aren't stupid, you know what I'm saying? They need a reason, even if it's a simple reason. I watched a video the other day of Lil Baby shopping for some sneakers, and he said something in the video that I thought was extremely profound yet incredibly simple. He alluded to how if he purchased shoes for young kids, they would stay out of trouble. And I thought to myself, that sounds really stupid, but that's extremely true. When I was younger, every time I got a new pair of kicks, I never wanted to go anywhere. I never wanted to walk outside. I never wanted to be out in public for too long. I wanted to stay home and take care of like my new prized possession. This is something of value. This is something I can take care of. This is something I can take pride in. It's mine. When you get to a point of paying for it yourself, it's even better. But that comes with the opportunity to work and find jobs that are workable in your neighborhood as well. By neighborhood, I don't mean you having to take a bus 45 minutes to an hour away from your house just to work a job that pays you $8 an hour. I mean something that maybe you can walk to and from your house for. I thought to myself how many people I said no to when it came to hanging out after school or staying a little bit later or putting myself in a position where I might not be doing anything quote unquote good. Instead, going home to take care of my shoes. Very simple and simplistic to the part where it borders stupid. But it wasn't about the shoe. It was about having something that I value, having something that I felt important, or having something to lose. When there isn't a consequence in your mind that's large enough to prevent you from getting into trouble, you're going to choose the trouble route every time, at least as you're a kid and you're growing up. And I'm talking about systemic issues. I'm talking about root causes. The idea here being that you give people something more or bigger or greater to do or something to take care of outside of their immediate family so that money isn't their primary motivator. A lot of the people in these communities don't believe the things that they own or possess are good enough to take care of or be cherished, themselves and their lives included, others' lives included. And the other half of these individuals are people that are smarter than both you and I, but don't have the options that we did when we were growing up. So never trick yourself into believing you're on this intellectual high ground and that the reason that this guy is making the decisions that he's making is solely based off the fact that he just doesn't have the intellect to know right from wrong. This is where I want to talk about accountability, because a lot of these dudes know what it is that they're doing is wrong, and maybe not in reference to the instance that unfortunately took Takeoff's life, but unfortunately find themselves feeding into this lifestyle because they aren't offered other alternatives. This lifestyle becomes a new standard of living and ultimately changes the person if done or fed into long enough. Regardless of how much success they achieve or how much money they earn, this mindset will ultimately need to be mentally evaluated and rehabilitated. But everyone wants to blame rap music. And the funny thing about this hip hop is the reason narrative is that while hip hop makes a ton of money, it doesn't generate near as much money as films, as games. These other forms of media generate hundreds of millions of more dollars than music. And as absurd as the argument would be to blame video games or movies and film and TV shows for violence in America, it will make far more sense to base your argument around these things being a bigger root cause than something that makes substantially less money. With these other industries in some years dwarfing the amount of money music makes, it would be at least sensible to say that at the very least these other forms of media have the same influence as music. But then you'd have to get people to be removed from anti-blackness enough to acknowledge that black people consume more than just rap music. Sometimes they read books, sometimes they watch movies, sometimes they play games. I know it's a crazy concept, but me as a black man and plenty of others do sometimes enjoy consuming content that doesn't involve talking about our bitch getting fucked. And then you reduce all forms of hip-hop to that as well. Like there are subgenres.
Like I was literally like was I not just talking about this like 2 minutes ago, bro? So y'all need to respect me.
Of hip-hop, like there isn't rippity rap lyrical spiritual miracles that talk about how bad killing is. Y'all sound so fucking stupid anytime y'all talk about any of these subjects. Are these forms of rap that denounce the popular forms of rap as popular? Definitely not. But to pretend like they don't exist for the sake of this narrow-minded view of black people and the way they consume music, you're either doing it on purpose or you're one of the unironic shining examples of lack of self-awareness that needs to be educated as much as the people you're criticizing. You're not smart. You're not smart. You're not smart at all. You just had more options, had more things to do. You had more to lose. So while I definitely don't have a problem with people having to be accountable for what it is that they do, I also want people to understand that something as complicated as this is never going to be solved by simply telling people, y'all got to do better. Until these communities are offered more funding, until these communities are offered immediately readily available employment, until children in these communities are offered safe extracurriculars. I don't mean those that just exist within the school or educational system. You blaming it on hip hop and rap music will always be the scapegoat as opposed to what actually needs to be addressed. I just don't think, and I'm tired of the first thing that happens when a young black rapper dies is we have to blame him for circumstances that are out of his control. I gotta hear think pieces and talking points about the type of music that Takeoff made. Meanwhile, he was an innocent bystander in an altercation that he had nothing to do with. A young rapper dies to gun violence and y'all want to blame it on hip hop and not gun violence. Got it. Rest in peace to a member of one of the biggest and greatest rap groups in history. In history.
Dang, man.